What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. This video shouldn't be too long because we're not going to cover too much. But what we are going to do is take a look at some of the scanning or stock scanning capabilities with thinkorswim. Specifically, what we're going to look at is a scan that's kind of pre-made in thinkorswim that allows you to look for stocks that are breaking into new highs for the year. And that's basically called a 52-week high breakout or 52-week high. All right, so it's just new stocks on the market or just stocks, breaking into new highs for the year. It's a pre-made scan on thinkorswim, so we're going to play around with it a little bit, show you guys exactly what's going on. That way you kind of know exactly how to use it. And then in future videos, we're going to go over some more pre-made scans on thinkorswim that some of you guys might like to use. Now, a lot of people like to build their own custom scans, which is completely fine, but it doesn't mean that some of the pre-made scans that are available on these platforms aren't still useful. Okay, everybody's got a different trading style and different approach to the market, so maybe this video will suit some of you guys, and if not, I apologize. Stay tuned for the other ones. So let's get into sharing the screen so we don't have to waste any more time. So if you're not familiar, all you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up to the scan symbol here, or scan tab on thinkorswim. Click that, and I'm going to redo everything in here. So when you open up the scanning section on thinkorswim, it'll look something like this. If you go to the upper right-hand corner, under this guy right here, right next to this little fire symbol, it'll say load scan query. Then you'll scroll over, you're going to want to go to public. Public is going to give you a list of pre-made scanners. And in other videos, maybe I'll go through all of these in a little bit of detail, but today we're going to be looking at the new yearly highs. And it is as it sounds. All these stocks that it's going to pull up will be into new yearly highs. So you'd want to click this, and it's going to bring it up, and it's going to look exactly as it is on my screen. You will see that there's three categories: stock, study. So you'll see here, this is custom. So this is a custom kind of code or implementation that thinkorswim has already built into the system. So you're not going to have to worry about messing around with this. Ideally, what this is looking for is stocks that are going into new highs for the year. And then everything here is just simple. It's volume and then, of course, pricing, okay? So this is going to allow you to scan for stocks based on volume and then based on price point, depending on what price of stocks you are looking for. So again, if you're looking for stocks that are below $1, then you're going to put, in 90 cents. Or if you're looking for stocks that are above, $20, you'll put in $20. So before we get into the scanning portion of it, I'm going to give you guys the rule of thumb for pretty much the stock market industry. Ideally, when it comes to day trading, so if you're actively looking for stocks to trade intraday, then you're going to want to scan for higher volume for a couple reasons. If you're looking for stocks to trade intraday, scan for higher volume because the higher that a stock trades on volume, or the more volume a stock is trading upon on any given day, the easier it's going to be for you to get filled, so buy your position or sell your position. If you're trading a stock intraday that doesn't have a lot of volume, it may be, or most likely will be, harder for you to get filled. Now, when we're talking about getting filled, you could be referring to a limit order, or you could be referring to a market order. If you do a market order, chances are, more times than not, your fill will be pretty much instantaneous. Not always, though. And that's a big misconception that a lot of traders think, is that by doing a market order, you're instantly going to get filled. You mostly will get filled instantly, but there is some times where you won't get filled instantly. So if you ever come across anybody telling you that a market order is going to go through instantly every single time, just know that that is actually incorrect. So always scan for stocks with high volume if you're looking to trade intraday. Your next question is going to be, what is classified as high volume? So high volume can be classified in a couple ways. It depends on if you're scanning for a low price stock, like a penny stock. If you're scanning for a penny stock, then, arguably you want to be scanning for anything over 300,000, 400,000. In it, I can go into more depth on that. I don't want to lose anybody, but before market open, right? Before market open, that's when you want to be looking at a penny stock to have at least traded around 300, 400,000 shares. Those can usually be a good candidate on the day. But if we're talking about intraday, by the time market is open and stocks are trading openly, then you're going to be scanning for like a million shares of volume, ideally. So we'll take a look at a couple examples, okay? So for me personally, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scan for stocks above $20 that at least have, I'm going to do 2 million shares of volume. All right, so what you can see here is I've come up with a list. Let me kind of drag this over a little bit. So I've come up with a list of, I don't know, maybe like 20 or so stocks right here. So what we're picking up is stocks that have at least traded 2 million shares, right? And is at least above $20, and they're pushing into new yearly highs. What you do for volume and what you do for last is really up to you, but I want to give you some rule of thumbs along the way. Okay, so let's go and look at penny stocks now, right? So if we want to look for a penny stock, ideally we would scan anything between 1 and 5. Because a penny stock is classified as a stock that trades from $1 per share to $5 per share. If you're looking at stocks below $1, that is classified as a sub-penny stock. So what we'll do is we'll run a scan for stocks trading from $1 to $5 and see if any are meeting the criteria of 2 million shares traded. One stock. Let's take a look at it. Close out some of these things that we don't need. So this stock is trading into a new yearly high. So if we go to a 1 year, 1 day time frame, which you can go click right here, click here, you can see that this is pushing into a new high on the year with at least 2 million shares traded on the day. Today, it traded 13 million shares of volume. So you could say to yourself, this stock has a good-looking uptrend. This might be a candidate that I want to keep on my watch list for a potential trade. It seems to be trending in a nice fashion. This might be something some of you guys are interested in. And as you can see, we've only picked up one stock. So let's go back to the scanning, and let's see if we decrease this to 1 million if we come up with anything else. AVP, still the only stock that's pushing into a yearly high that's priced from 1 to 5. That's what that's telling us, that from the price from 1 to 5, meaning 1 million shares of volume, this is the only stock pushing into a 52-week high as of right now. So ultimately, the main thing to take away from this video is that the scanner that we're showing you is ultimately here to show you stocks that are breaking into new highs on the year. So now I'm going to drop it down and we're going to go back to, let's just do $20 again. 1 million shares of volume. There'll be no max. Doesn't really matter for this. And then we'll scan. Okay, it added it anyways. So I'm going to take a list we have here. We have BX, KIM, and WU, and then we'll just put down PDD. And we'll go through a couple of these, and I'll show you. So if we go back to the charts, we'll do the first one here. BX, you can see it's pushing into a new 52-week high right now, and this stock appears to have, once again, a pretty solid trend. If this would work, please work eventually. There you go. That's right, Thinkorswim. So again, this is trending pretty nicely. Let's take a look at the next one, which is KIM. And as you can see, this is starting to press into a new high on the year. Let's take a look at the next one, which I wrote down was WU. Stock is pushing into a new 52-week high. Oh, closed on a red day, though. And as you look, this stock having a pretty nice trend as well. All right, and the next one, PDD. This stock did push into a new high on the day, but closing just below the previous green day. So what this is saying is that all these stocks are going into a new high on the year, but it doesn't mean that this is the all-time high. If we were to enlarge the time frame to, let's just say, we'll do a 20-year time frame, and we'll do like a month or something. This is, in fact, the all-time high for the stock. This is the highest PDD's ever been. Let's take a look at the other ones, BX. And this is, in fact, an all-time high for BX as well. Let's take a look at KIM. This is, in fact, not an all-time high. It's an all-time high for this year, or is a yearly high, but not an all-time high. So just because you come in and look at the last year and say this is doing fairly well, if you were to go out 2 years, you may come to find that, or maybe let's do a little bit further. We'll go 3 years. 5 years, sure. So if you go 5 years, you might tell yourself, well, though it looks like it's performing well for the year, it doesn't mean it's going to continue performing well maybe in the short term, considering we're starting to come into more of a resistance point right around $21. So again, pretty cool scan. A lot of free scans and a lot of free, useful tools here on Thinkorswim. And I just don't know if many people are aware of all these free and useful tools on Thinkorswim. And that's why I'm kind of making this video. And in future videos, I plan to go over a little, quite a bit more on the scanning capabilities of Thinkorswim. So if you guys are interested in those videos, please let me know in the comment section below, or by giving the video a thumbs up so that this video can reach a wide variety of viewers. That way everybody learns about the scanning capabilities here on Thinkorswim. So as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure to leave a comment comment down below if you would like to see more videos pertaining to the scanning subject on Thinkorswim. So until next time, traders, stay green, and I'll see you on the next one.